And let's start with this. You and I live on a little planet. We breathe the same air. We're also increasingly concerned about our future. Your own personal future, the future of your families, the future of your communities, the future of your countries, even the future of life itself on the planet. The evidence suggests that all of these concerns are going to be challenging for you and me for the rest of our lives and for our organizations. We're also living in a time, however, when scientific discovery and technological advancements are accelerating. They're like no other time, and we read about this, but when you begin to sit back and think about the huge discoveries that are happening, we're creating data about just about everything, and tons of data, big data. But data actually is not enough. Clearly, we need more integrated knowledge and ways to be able to create better outcomes, do something in the way of footprints like the Trust for Public Land has done, which creates a future different than the so-called trends that are so disturbing to us and will be challenging to us. Geography is our platform for understanding the world. Roger Tomlinson taught me this many years ago. By the way, this is the 50th year anniversary of GIS, and we have a lot to thank Roger for. Let's just do it right now. And GIS makes it come alive. It makes geography come alive. GIS condenses down all the data and our information and our knowledge and our science into a kind of language that we can easily understand. Maps. Maps help us integrate our knowledge, but they also help us apply our knowledge. The very work that I just showed of yours a few minutes ago represent it. Maps also tell stories about just about everything. We need to learn how to make these maps, your kinds of maps, maps about decisions and more efficiency, more pervasive, opening up our world. We also need to learn how to make maps that create better outcomes, geodesign maps, maps about creating a better future. These are the two big challenges that you as professionals can help today work on. Now, I'm pretty confident that we can actually do this. One of the reasons I'm confident is that GIS itself is advancing. It's getting more powerful. It's getting easier to use. It's evolving with lots of new capabilities. And it's also moving to a new platform, cloud. I like to call this cloud GIS. It's many things, but that's how I'll call it and refer it in this presentation. The notion of this platform is that it allows geography to be pervasive, to create pervasive understanding, not just simple maps, but the deep kinds of knowledge that you have. GIS is evolving and advancing, a kind of leveraging many other trends that are occurring that are interesting: more measurement, more data, more computing, faster computing, cloud computing, SaaS computing, personal computing, device computing, apps. And also, GIS is co-evolving with science itself. Again, leveraging all the big stuff, the big science trends that are occurring. The convergence of all of this is enabling us and will enable us to reimagine our world. Not only the real world, but also the world of GIS or your field. It's going to allow us to integrate geographic knowledge into everything we do, meaning everything everyone does. Today we have 2.5 billion people connected with devices. Imagine the implication of this over time. This cloud GIS enables pervasive access. It integrates our traditional GIS, your work, desktop servers, with a whole new pervasive world of apps. It makes what has been scarce, not that you haven't shared your stuff enough, but it makes that relatively scarce commodity, your knowledge, abundant. It provides geography as a platform. Cloud GIS integrates all types of geospatial information, maps, of course, and data, imagery, the new dimensions of social media and crowdsourced information, and sensor networks. As we wire up the world, we can bring this together in a platform which is accessible. And web maps, this new media that we're working with, make this information widely accessible in simple forms. This model changes the discussion. It breaks down the barriers between different workflows and disciplines, and it brings them together. Web maps provide this medium for integration and understanding. This will enable us to better collaborate and share and approach problem solving more holistically. You've seen probably this diagram before. Well, not exactly this diagram, but something like it in the 80s and in the 90s. We would have looked at a database can in the center. But database cans didn't make it because they were too rigid. We couldn't get everybody to collaborate around common data models. This is different. This is a new agile and flexible environment. And we're already starting to see organizations adopt this pattern. Organizations are adopting this pattern rapidly. One of our partners, the Eye on Earth network in Europe, Jacqueline McLeod, who runs the European Environmental Agency, was an early adopter of this and used it saying, I'd like to put my data in the cloud. She was using cloud computing for her own selfish applications, driving her own mission. But then when she put it in there, she began to share it. And other people started to do the same thing, the UN, the World Bank, US government agencies. And what they discovered was not only can they get these advantages, they also can start to share information through this new medium of web maps. They began to create a new kind of infrastructure. By the way, I'd like to recognize Eye on Earth not only for their great partnership, but also a couple weeks ago they were in Rio, and the whole Rio delegation embraced this as a foundation for organizing environmental data for the entire planet. It's quite an achievement. This is about creating geography in a pervasive environment as a platform. Geography as a platform, the theme of the conference, will open our world, the theme of the conference. And we're going to spend a lot of this morning talking about the enabling technology that is now here to do it. And also what it takes to embrace these sort of patterns. And also we'll talk about the culture of collaboration and sharing. And this isn't about we have to do something, it's actually just quite naturally emerging. This whole thought is going to help us imagine the role of GIS in our organizations. It's of course going to help us better accomplish our work, your work. And so it's very exciting to me at this particular moment.